You hear that big laugh, sports fans? That means it's time for San Diego Prep Insider again. Thank you for checking in. I am Christian Pedersen. Everybody is sitting in a different seat this week, so all hell has indeed broken loose. Let's go around the room and do some introductions.
Bodie De Silva.
You are at SD Preps on Twitter and Instagram. I got to plug you as the Scorebook Live reporter for the San Diego CIF section. Scorebook Live is the official digital provider for the entire state CIF. But we go to the app too. We like the CIF app. They've got that now. But guys, the end of the read goes, we don't care about any of those sections because we're a San Diego sports show. Next to Bodie is
Noah Laxina. My Twitter is Noah_Lax2017.
Noah is the fit king and the swaggiest one of this group. Other than shoes.
Bodie has the best. Yeah, okay. Bodie has the best shoes.
And we'll put that on our Insta.
Bodie's wearing my favorite shoes of all time today.
And that voice is
Tommy Morris. But Bodie's got on the Jordan
Tommy
11s
Morris.
with the black and white. They are so sick. Bodie, I'm jealous of you.
We'll put it on the
They
poll.
look beautiful today too.
Those are beautiful.
Are Bodie's shoes
Concord
beautiful?
11s. Yeah.
Those are-
Concord 11s. First segment of our show we always get started with is talking about the week that was for the top 10 teams in the San Diego CIF section. This show is recorded and comes out later in the week. The rankings come out Monday, so this isn't necessarily reactions, and we know that things change a la the Holy War and all that kind of stuff happening
How
during the
about
week.
that?
But how about that, says Tommy Morris. Here was the top 10 going into this week. Cathedral Catholic, St. Augustine, Torrey Pines, Francis Parker, Foothills Christian, Poway, Mater Dei Catholic, Christian Helix, and El Camino. Rawr! Wildcats making it back into that top 10 for the first time in a minute. Tommy said the how about that, so I'll let you get in on this first, Tommy. I'm assuming you want to talk primarily with that Holy
just
Bowl.
really quickly. I mean, so it was a 2-point game the first time I played. Cathedral wins by a bigger margin this time. Dylan Wilhite, 11 rebounds, 4 blocks. Obviously, you want to talk about Chibuzo Agba scoring 21 points, but 21 rebounds and 4 blocks is huge in a game. The 4 blocks especially, because once you start blocking kids, they don't want to bring it inside. It can change the complexity of the game. So great game for Dylan and huge win for Cathedral. That kind of solidifies him as that number one.
I mean, is it anything else on the top 10, or did that overshadow everything in your point of view?
No, I mean, I like seeing Mater Dei keep creeping up on that list. You got Mello over there, keep scoring points. I mean, the kid is really good. I can't talk about him enough either. So,
Noah, you want to talk about the? I'm fine if all three of you want to talk about that Holy War and that rivalry this season, but start.
Yeah, I just want to say that it's really big. It's a really big deal, to really give that extra effort regular season time. When in this world, it's kind of just about what's going to happen in the playoffs. So it's good to see Cathedral really go for it and really dominate and show, hey, we could dominate regular season and we're going to dominate in the postseason. I think they're really sending a message to the rest of the county right now that they're a team that's going to be scary to beat.
Anything else in that top 10 that you see any movement? I mean, we've kind of settled in. It looks like we were saying we know who, we just don't know what order.
I know.
Are we looking at Cathedral? I mean, I guess maybe my question is Cathedral number one now for the rest of the season? Like, is that going to be? I'm asking this first to know.
I would say that, but this weekend they're gonna have a good game against Mater Dei at the Battle of the Bay. I was actually gonna say my what's good today about the Battle of the Bay, the Mater Dei Cathedral game specifically, knowing that Mater Dei really bounced back after their upset loss against Eastlake. They dominated Otay Ranch, and that was kind of like, hey, we took our loss, but now we're really gonna strap up and try to finish strong. And I think you're gonna get an A Mater Dei team on Saturday going against Cathedral. So we'll see what happens.
Bodie, you look like you had something you wanted to jump in on, please.
Yeah, that game specifically on Saturday, Mater Dei is one of the teams that size-wise can really match up with Cathedral. I know they took that loss to Eastlake, but there's no reason to think they can't bounce back and make that a really competitive game for one of those games, obviously, at the Battle of the Bay.
I do want to ask this. Best version of the Holy War, football or basketball?
Soccer.
Oh,
Okay, I'll throw that in there.
Wait till my game balls.
Okay,
Wait till my game balls.
I'll throw. Okay,
Rugby.
okay.
Rugby.
So that okay.
Do
Rugby.
Saints have rugby? Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah, I believe.
Yes,
I
they
know
have a big
Cathedral has their own
rivalry.
rugby
They have a
field.
big
They
rivalry
played
with
last
Torrey.
week. Yeah.
That's their primary rival. Okay, so Noah, here I got this on the poll. All of our polls at SD Prep Insider on Twitter and Instagram. So the 4 options I put up there right now are football, basketball, soccer, rugby. You're happy with that?
I would say football, basketball, other. Because I think where we come from a account that's going to be kind of lopsided to basketball and football. So to give everyone else more options, they just go football, basketball, other.
Give them a write-in answer.
Yeah.
Maybe baseball.
Does OLP count? OLP,
No.
Cathedral tennis. Always a good one.
I love that about you, man. Nice.
and
You can find-
You screwed up my Super Smash game because I had to dap you with my controllers in the hand, and Noah just Kirby
took
stomped
him
me.
off the screen. Oh.
I hate this character. I don't want to pick this character. Don't pick the robot.
Yeah, I
kids.
think football gets the most coverage, obviously, the attendance, but there have been some good basketball games over the recent years, too. So.
And I will make this prediction. You'll see another one in the playoffs.
Oh,
Oh. Hey.
Whoa.
So best of 3 series.
Yeah.
So El Camino, I think, is the last question I want to ask. First time we have seen them in the top 10 since the Jalen Flanagan, Trevor McFeely era, where they were a Division I CIF champion. No, is that an O for basketball or an O for Kirby?
Oh, for
for
he
Kirby?
just fell.
Kirby fell. That's a great story. Are they just one of a are they prisoner of recency bias? That's why they get the voting, or do they legitimately deserve that? Well, who would you have put in the top 10, Bodie?
yeah. So I had San Marcos at my 10 spot this week. I think El Camino would have been the team right after had I extended it there.
Okay.
They backed it up last night. They beat Rancho Buena Vista by 41 points, and that's a good RBV team, and it was at RBV. So El Camino still has an outside chance to get in the Open. Looks like they'll be a top 2 or 3 seed in D1 though, and definitely a team that has gotten better as the years gone on and can make a run.
Does anyone on that one, or can I move on to my last question for
You
the
can
top
move on to
10?
the last question.
You talk about making it into the Open. The last couple of years, we have entered into the Open with that one singular team that was so definitively above and beyond everybody else that you're like, okay, it's that team's bracket to win or lose. Do we have that this year? Or is, even for as good as Cathedral is right now, teams like El Camino can feel like, okay, if we get hot at the second half of that game, 8 versus 1, we can still take it?
I would say they've got to be the favorite, but I don't think it's let's give it to them now. I mean,
So top 4 teams, if it started today, Cathedral, Saints, Torrey Pines, Francis, Parker, you could see any of the 4 of them in a reasonable scenario winning this championship?
yeah, they've all played Cathedral at this point. Parker played them in game 1, lost by 4. Saints has had 2 close games. The Torrey Pines game was single digits. So it's not that there were a 30-point game in there somewhere where you'd be concerned about a matchup.
No, runaway favorite number 1 or equal field right now?
Equal field. Let's just say this: if there was a March Madness for CIF basketball, then a lot of brackets would get busted after the first round. I say that.
We occasionally do end up trying to do that. Never successfully.
Let's
though.
do one. Let's see who has the greatest percentage.
Hey, by the way, Modern Day has a good chance to open some eyeballs this weekend, as we kind of mentioned already. I mean, if they put up a good showing as Cathedral, don't count them out.
Yeah,
either.
that's a team that since they lost to East Lake, they fell a little bit for where they'll be seated, and that's not a team that if you're the 2 or 3 you want to see as a 6 or 7 first-round matchup because they really have the personnel to play with anyone.
Yeah, I know the top seeds are probably looking at the Max Prep or Scorebook Live. They're looking at Scorebook Live and they're like, "Wow, man, why did they lose?" Because
Saving a Butte.
the team they don't want to play, Modern Day.
So, we'll have to see if somebody does end up making any dramatic shifts in the next week. Obviously, the Battle at the Bay is going to feature some of these teams playing huge games. We will talk to Marshawn Cherry later in the show about that event, so stick
I'll
around
donate my
for that.
microphone to Marshawn.
Yes. That was not the direction I was going with that. I was going to say that Tommy was going to graciously step out to go do something on Instagram, but you know what? Continuity be darned. You're probably not going to watch it in any sort of linear format anyway, as you just scroll up and down on Instagram and don't even make it to this point in the show, unless you're any of the 4
real
bars
one.
parents.
Exactly, a real one.
We got anything to close out with for the top 10, or can we tell the people to go ahead and swipe on over?
Swipe.
Get over there.
Go on over. See you in a bit. What's happening, everybody? Welcome over to Game Balls. This is our segment where we...
Our second time trying this because I ruined the first one.
Yes. No, I don't. No, Tommy, we do this live on air still. This is still a radio show, and millennials just don't understand the concept of radio.
We had to hit the cough button.
Yes, the dump button. Welcome to Game Balls. Noah?
Nothing. I
Deal.
pass.
Okay, guys, nothing but serious, legitimate basketball journalism now for the next 15 minutes. No, Game Balls, we're trying to shout out all sorts of people. This like I said, primarily a boys basketball show, but we got a little bit of a soccer person. That's
I got a little something up my sleeve.
Tommy's got occasionally the weird, like Tommy finds all the stat driven ones where he's like, this player has.
I tried to get 3 25-point guys, but I had to settle for 2 25-point.
Maybe it was just football, but you were always like, this guy.
Hey,
has
no
had
disrespect,
8
22 guys.
completions.
Well, baseball,
22 guy, you're
baseball
great.
for whatever reason last year I was obsessed with triples.
Yeah,
That's all I would talk about.
Tommy latches on to weird things like that, and then Bodie just toes the company line and talks about his Scorebook Live articles, which you can always read at scorebooklive.com or SBLiveCA on Twitter and Instagram. Scorebook Live is the official digital provider of the San Diego CIF section and the entire state, but we don't care about any of them. Just care about the San Diego section here. So, who wants to start with Game Balls?
I'll go.
All right, pass me your controller, please,
All right,
and
we're gonna
enjoy some Game Balls.
Start with Arian Velasco from Sweetwater, 25 points. What? What's funny?
No, it's because Christian didn't even get the remote yet, and I just started going ham on.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, Noah beat me every single game of Smash before we started this. From Sweetwater, 25 points in their win over Hilltop. Good game from him. Brendan Perry from LCC, 25 points in their win over Canyon Crest. And Maurice Holmes from Helix, 22 points in their win over West Hills. And Bodie, correct me if I'm wrong, that was a senior night where they had to put in the temporary chairs.
Yeah, that was
kinda
cool
awesome.
cool and I guess not cool because you don't want to have to come to that, but for them to embrace the circumstances and what's kind of happened with the redoing of the gym and not having bleachers yet, it was pretty cool. Not that you want to be in that situation, but
Everyone had like floor seats.
The video was cool of kind of how it was kind of layered from the floor on back to the walls.
Oh no!
So yeah, those are my 3 game balls right there. Who wants to go next?
Bodie.
I will take it then. First one, I want to talk about Sage Creek senior point guard Nick Nacarado. Last second layup last night to beat Vista. They picked up their first league win, and you can check out the video of his game-winning layup on the San Diego Prep Insider Instagram.
But also, but you got to throw this out there. He got the rebound.
Yes.
Took it coast to coast and scored it.
Yeah, went right through the teeth of the defense, getting their first league win. So that's a big one there for Sage Creek this year. Alexander Crawford, junior forward from Eastlake, big game last week. They took down Mater Dei Catholic, which no one expected. 26 points on 11 of 15 shooting, 10 rebounds, 3 blocks. He's having a great year for Eastlake. Joel Calhoun from Fallbrook, he had 26 points in the Warriors' win over Valley Center. Definitely a team that's at the top of the competition there in Division 5. He's averaging 21.7 points per game. And Del Norte senior Zach Moore has been really stuffing the stat sheet all season. The win over Westview, he had 16 points, 16 rebounds, 7 assists, and 10 steals. So all-around game there. And
10 steals.
That's game balls.
You got into the double column.
Oh, this layup
Oh, is that the hard? Is that the hard?
nice. Everyone needs to go to our Instagram and look at this layup.
Nick Nacarado, game winner.
Oops, put the volume on accident. Sorry.
All right, so
off the free throw too, coast to coast, in traffic, nice little
you
Euro
went
step.
1-on-2. That's Mamba mentality.
Man.
You know what
Mamba
you know what we need to get here soon enough, because I was thinking about this last night as I was looking through just some of the kind of show prep stuff. King of K's is right around the corner, and that means Tommy with strikeout calls again.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you weren't even paying. I was giving you a compliment. You weren't even paying attention. Millennial. Love
Sorry.
you, man.
No, I'm booking travel arrangements with my mother, so it's her birthday. So yeah, you got to respond to mom. Right
Today's
away.
her birthday.
No
not
matter
yet.
what,
No, it's next
that's
week.
one of the rules. Like, no matter what you're
celebrating
doing, you respond to your mom.
We're celebrating it
when she
next
texts you.
week. Yes, and she was nice enough to book my flights, so I.
What a good woman.
Deal. Fair enough. But yes, King of K's right around the corner, and that means Tommy back with fun strikeout basketball calls. Noah, were you done with all your game balls?
No, I'm just getting started. Yeah, I'm just getting
Go.
started. Okay, so for my game balls first, I know there's a lot of talk about the Holy War St. Augustine Cathedral rivalry. And we talk about the basketball, boys basketball. But, in boys soccer, man, let me give you a little bit of background right here. So St. Augustine, they upset Cathedral in the Holy Bowl soccer edition yesterday. But this is the third time they played. Cathedral, they're currently number 5 in California still, according to Max Preps. So Cathedral boys, number 5 in California. The first time they played was at a Francis Parker tournament. They beat St. Augustine 3-2 in overtime. So that was round 1. Then they went round 2. Their first league matchup, they tied 2-2. So St. Augustine's just been chipping away. And then yesterday, they finally upset Cathedral and won 2-1. So shout out to those St. Augustine boys soccer team. You guys had no fear. You guys went into the Holy War with a good mentality, and you guys got the job done.
Who wins
so shout
on
out to
aggregate? It's a soccer term.
What?
No, seriously,
Okay.
honestly, I've never understood this because the total goals would be equal, right?
I'm sure
Because
goes
it's a
to-
one.
Well, it was a wow.
How does that work? I've never understood that in European soccer when they play 2 games. What if
Because then
one
it
team
comes
wins-
down to who scores what on the road, what the goal differential, like if the home team wins by an X amount, or like, so if Saints beats Cathedral at Cathedral, and it those like with a larger goal differential than Cathedral beats Saints on the road.
What if it's a tie?
If they're both ties, both on the road, then the teams will get together and have a 3-legged race to see who
And
gets
then,
to
like,
advance.
at the
Wouldn't it
end, they have
always-
to kick it from half field, and it has to touch the soccer
Wouldn't it
post.
always, in theory, be a tie? No matter what?
No, because not every game would have the same goal differential. Not necessarily.
If
You
they
would
tie, it would.
No, against other teams. All right, man. Shout out to St.
Whatever,
Augustine.
whatever. Yeah,
Shout out to
right.
St. Augustine
Whatever.
boys soccer. You guys, man, that's a lot of credit because a lot of teams would look at those rankings and just fold, but you guys stepped up to the plate. So shout out to y'all. Number 2, I want to shout out Westview's girls basketball team. Right now, they're 23-1. They're the number 2 team in San Diego, of course, behind LCC. And a big shout out to them because last year they were 16-14. Their final record last year was 16-14. So for them to start 23-1, be number 2 in the county, that's a big, a big congrats to them and what they've been able to do with their program. And then number 3, Modern Day, who we talked about, they beat Olympian 75-48 in their league matchup yesterday. And a reason why I think this is a big deal because they got Modern Day recently got upset by Eastlake. So I know that, hurt some feathers. They went back to practice and they probably, worked their tails off and they came out and they played a lot of defense. I mean, winning by that point margin shows that they're really stepping up. They're really communicating out there and said, hey, we got a big game on Saturday against Cathedral. So let's clean up what we need to clean up. So shout out to Modern Day. And then number 4, last but not least, last but not
used
least.
to be 4 at one point.
So, I know we're a basketball show, but one of the most prominent sports of the winter time, especially in San Diego, is wrestling. And right now, according to CalGrappler.com, you could look it up. It has all the rankings for wrestlers in San Diego County and in California because Max Preps doesn't really have a lot of stats regarding wrestlers. There's 14 weight classes, right? Yes. So in San Diego, Poway holds the number 1 ranked kid in that weight class for 8 of the 14 divisions. So shout out Poway Wrestling. They're breeding them like, oh my goodness. They're like the IMG of San Diego wrestling right now. So shout out to them.
Shout out Coach Jordan Barker at Poway.
I don't know what they feed him over there, but Poway Wrestling's at the top. So those are my game balls for this week.
Wrestlers run a lot.
I'll seamlessly transition there into my game balls, and I will start with Shane Hansen from Oceanside, one of the best wrestlers in the county at the 197 weight class. Won the Holtville tournament at the start of February, and I did not get a chance to give him a game ball last week, so I will give him one here. And we've had him on the show. He's one of the singular people out of a not necessarily powerhouse program that shows why wrestling is one of those like tennis type legit sports where it just takes one from that school to break the mold, and then Oceanside gets a CIF championship, or then Santana or whoever it is, like one team gets the CIF championship. So I'll go ahead and I'll hit up a couple of wrestlers then because we had a couple of league championships decided. Josh Jaso from La Jolla is one of the individual league champions for the Western League.
That's why you need to do wrestling.
No, mostly for Shane. Mostly for Shane. Shane's a friend of the show who we have had on the show in the past. We got to give some love also out to the Crawford wrestling program, because that is another friend of the show. Matt Marquez works extensively with them, and they have had a wonderful season with a couple of their individual guys qualifying for some great.
Matt Marquez, like the Crawford Crawford Army knife.
Well, dude, he's going to go down
does
as one of those
everything.
community legends.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
In,
Oh,
in
yeah,
10
definitely.
years, let me extend past that. In 50 years, there will be either the field is named after him or the track itself. Like, there will be a facility on that campus.
Let's get
that
this
is Matt
started right now.
Marquez
Yeah.
blank, because of you don't put in that kind of thankless work at one school like that if you are somebody who's here for the wrong reasons.
That's
like
love.
you don't survive that kind of a grind.
That LOV.
Yeah, when it's also love that he's starting to get the
Oh
results.
yeah, they're getting
and
good.
it's legit. And I also though don't know how he has any time.
That's what I was saying.
That
What
kind
is
of
bro
stuff.
doing?
I will close on kind of a somber note out of my game balls. I wanted to take a moment to say our heartfelt condolences from our show to the Eastlake community, to the girls lacrosse community, to the football communities, and to everybody who Coach Robert Bloss touched in their lives. We lost him over the week. And I mean, girls lacrosse season was right around the corner. And so I know that there's that team and immediate community that has to deal with all that. And we are kind of helpless as a bunch of laughing buffoons sometimes up here that try to be your distraction from all this, but we can't ignore it sometimes when we have to address these harder moments in life and say our condolences there. But also, I mean, kids that are out there, a lot of these coaches like Coach Bloss are not doing this for that cash. So we're talking about Marquez as one of them, but Noah,
There's a ton
your
of them.
dad has taken over a lacrosse program and does football coaching. I mean, Tommy, you're a JV coach that puts in probably enough hours that you get paid literal cents on the hour as the season goes on.
Fractions of cents.
Yeah, fractions of cents. I mean, Bodie, you are around enough sports to probably know enough people that you could list off that lose money in their time
question,
during the season. So what I'm saying, man, I get it that a lot of this is competitive sports and a lot of this is we want to win a league championship or have that rivalry or this, that, or the other. But also a lot of this is just really good people who are trying to have some fun in their life and bring some joy to your life. So maybe just say an extra thank you sometimes, or maybe just appreciate that even if you're sub 500, your coach is still there with you and you have that outlet in your life, because you never know, like, when that last time you dribble that ball or you jump in that pool or you stand on that field is going to be. So I apologize for ending on a note like that, but we will have more laughs and buffoonery for you in just a second with What's Good. Noah, you want to hit us with one more What's Good, and then we'll say swipe right?
Hey, what's good, man? Swipe right. Get over there. Get over there.
Wait, that way. No, because they're looking.
No, get
they're
over
looking that way.
here.
No, they're looking that way.
That's a good one. That's
What's happening, sports fans? Christian Pedersen.
Bodie De Silva.
no Laxina.
Tommy Morris.
Welcome to
Go. Noah, go.
SDPI.
No, specific segment.
Oh. What's good?
This is where we tell you what's good in the upcoming week or the week that was, or just in general, what is good in the San Diego CIF section. While everybody also tries to play Mario Kart and
We did the
not
thing
get-
where the controllers, if you move them, the guy moves, which I'm actually kind of getting into.
Why does
now.
that keep turning back on?
I don't know, but
automatically?
I'm kind of into
Yeah,
it
it
now.
makes no
I'm
sense. If
kinda into
anybody,
it now.
look, if anybody wants to come play Mario Kart with us, just hit us up. Let us know if you want to
You'll
come. to the
lose.
You don't
studio.
want this.
You'll
You don't want
lose.
any part of this.
Um,
Oh, red shell. Oh, it's like a cheat code when I'm in second place.
I'm going to assume while the three of you guys are racing that I need to turn your mics off, and I will start with my edition of What's Good, if you don't mind. I'll say what's good. First off is congratulations to everybody that signed a letter of intent this week or committed to playing a sport. I know that not all the divisions get actual physical letters, but that's what's good. Man, what a week it was. I mean, I would love to just work geographically top of the county down, North County with Cole Wright and like Oceanside getting Carlsbad getting legitimate football commits, and then Des Taua going to to USD and Ryan Bill at San Pasquale, and like you make your way down into the middle chunk of the county, and linemen from Cathedral, and like there was so much talent coming out of the woodwork the last 2 weeks that I was like, yo, that's legit. Grant Norberg going to UCLA. We had over 100 athletes attend the San Diego Sports Association signing event at Petco Park. Bodie was there. That's what's good. And I mean, man, seeing people who were like, oh, first person in this school's program's history to sign a D1 letter of intent. That's what's good. Seeing Terry Bamford show up being like, yeah, this is yet another one of my players going on to play. Like seeing legends like that. That's what's good. So congratulations, everybody who got that done, and man, just thanks for letting us be a part of that and broadcasting all of that. Additionally, what's good, like you guys have been talking about, is Holy War. I want to call it the Holy Bowl. It's the Holy War. You talk about the Holy War being good. I'll say just rivalries as being good. I went from league play being my what's good last week to this week it's rivalries, because now everything is closing out with the last game is senior night versus this team that we hate, yada, yada, yada. It's all lining up perfectly. My final what's good is a special thank you to the seniors that are playing in their senior night games for water polo, soccer, basketball, wrestling, cheer, anything that's happening right now, CIF sport-wise. What's good, seniors, is you. That's what's good. You guys putting in the hard work to make it to senior night. You deserve to have a lot of fun in the next 2 weeks. Whenever that celebration is of you, or if it has already happened, I will say what's good is you getting through senior year of that, because high school is insane and crazy hard, and doing at least one sport while you're doing it also is crazy. We have all done that in this room, so we have a little bit of understanding of it, but that's what's good, man. So now I will ask you, Noah Lax, what's good?
What's good with me? You know, I want to just say that.
Hand the controller over and then say what's good.
What's good is that for boys soccer right now, we have two schools that are currently in the top 10 of California, and that's Cathedral Catholic is currently number 5 in California, and Torrey Pines is currently number 9 in California for boys soccer, so that's what's good. I also want to shout out the Battle of the Bay. I know that's coming up this weekend, and I know Coach Marshawn Cherry is going to talk about that. But I want to say that that's an event to go to. It's like the sports party of the weekend. You're going to see a lot of good talent, a lot of close games. The matchups are designed for the Bay Classic to be a fantastic show, so make sure you guys go check that out. Also, what's good is playoffs is coming up. So, you know, RIP Kobe, RIP GG, those people on the plane. It's Mamba mentality time. It's time for those the real players to show out and, you know, win championships, and that, you know, yes, you're a student athlete, but these playoffs times are going to be so crazy and so hectic, and it's going to be a really good moment to see these young stars shine. Also, CIF tournaments coming up. Yeah, there's gonna be more information about that, but you know, make sure you start saving dates in your calendar, because these CIF championship wrestling matchups are crazy, man. All day, just
first of the playoff brackets will be coming out this weekend, and we'll have all of that at SD Prep Insider on Twitter, on Instagram. Bodie, I'm assuming you'll have a fair amount of that kind of stuff also on Scorebook Live.
Yeah, they'll have them as
That's
well.
all I needed. Just a yes. No, keep going.
Oh yeah, but yeah, it's like these tournaments are crazy. You have the favorites, of course, but you also have those guys that maybe got a lower seed, got a different side of the bracket, and they end up being a Cinderella story. It's like March Madness in one day.
Man. My boys,
it's one, and in one day they just shock the world, and it gets the whole venue just going crazy. So playoff time coming up. Rankings.
No, if you don't mind, I'll throw it on the poll at SD Prep Insider on Twitter and on Instagram as I crash Luigi into a wall there. Who's going to be the dark horse in basketball this year? Let's go ahead and throw that out there.
Ooh.
No.
Doesn't matter division.
I'm just going to throw it. I'm not asking you that right now. We'll talk about this next week maybe.
Okay.
So what else is what's good?
That's what's good with me, but I'll just say this. If you got to give me a dark horse, it'd be any South Bay team for any division. South Bay is going to make noise this year in the playoffs. Simple as that.
Deal. You want to go ahead and grab Bodie's controller and ask him what's good?
Bodie, What's good with me is I'm gonna take that controller.
Since I'm on the last lap, I have to take credit for the win, so I got to finish this.
Okay. All
No,
right.
you're not gonna win. Watch this.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
What does this boomerang do?
Oh.
Yes. God. I've never lost a game before.
All right, buddy. You just won. What's good?
Yeah, so some of them have been taken that we've said already, but I'll go back. In recent weeks, I'd given some shout outs to some commits. I think it's only fair to keep up with the guys that have signed since then or committed, because you can't just pick and choose. Trajan Apodaca, DB from Oceanside, he signed with Northern Arizona. Kyle Simpson from Sarah, he signed with Midland College. Let's see, who else do we have on this list? Jackson Daly from Eastlake signed with Colorado State Pueblo. Michael Malaulu, hopefully it wasn't too far off the pronunciation, from Morse, he's headed to Azusa Pacific. Cypress Hill from Kearney, headed to Lake Erie College. Mario Alvis from Kearney, headed to Clark University. Dylan Sally from Chula Vista High School, he's headed to Concordia, Chicago. Cyrus Farnham from Sail the Ship La Jolla High School, headed to Black Hills State. Ron Van from Bonita Vista, he's headed to New Mexico State. Connor Heffler from Saints to Cal Poly. Evan Gibbons from Saints, he's headed to Navy. Brock Desta from Sarah, headed to Wisconsin Lutheran. Trevor Gonzalez from La Costa Canyon, headed to USD. Ty Virgin from Mount Carmel, Azusa Pacific. James Duncan from Classical Academy to Arizona Christian. There's so many more, which hits my plug, Scorebook Live /California. You can find my updated list of all those who committed and signed this week.
The only one I can think of that you didn't say was Logan Berzins from Cathedral.
He was in
preferred walk on, but
yeah. I had him in the early signing period. I believe they'd announced him then, but nonetheless, yeah, two really good linemen at Cathedral this year, both heading Division I.
All right.
you're supposed to ask me.
Well, Tommy, what's good with you?
How about Savannah over at Rancho Bernardo with her 500th career rebound? Give her a little shout out. What you get? That's. Now we'll go to soccer first. I want to talk about Escondido boys soccer. They got a pair of sophomores who are pretty incredible. Damian Flores, who is leading the county right now with goals, 27. He's also leading with points, 2.8 per game. And I heard Diaz, also a sophomore from Escondido, with 14 assists. So those two, I think Escondido right now was ranked 5th in boys soccer. With those two on the team for the next 2 years, that's going to be a team that's going to be able to compete with anybody in the county because they're two studs. So that's also what's good. Signing day, I don't even want to keep naming names because we do that forever. But really happy for all the kids who got a chance to do that yesterday at Petco Park. Really cool thing that the schools let the kids, miss a couple classes, get to go do that. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Happy for everyone all the way around.
There's actually a pretty decent turnout. Couple specifically of La Jolla Country Day Tories from the lacrosse team, but in general, I want to say there was almost if not double digits of your Tories there. So congratulations, Tommy, on that. Is that everything from What's Good?
I'll give one last one. Wayne McKinney from Coronado, junior guard, had 44 points in the win over University City. It is a new school record. So he's doing this year is a surprise. He's killing it.
Hot take, he will score more than that at some point in his career.
Oh, yeah.
He'll break that. That kid is
I thought you were
unbelievable.
going to say hot take. He's going to transfer to Lincoln for football.
No,
We'll see potential Division III championship, Coronado San Ysidro. There'd be some eyes on that.
No, so this kid's actually, kid is, yeah.
I didn't think about that.
You just broke every single piece of equipment, I think. But no, he is
If
an
it
unreal player.
happens, that's gonna be a show.
And, well, also a kid like that too.
Wait. Legitimate question. Is it just Wayne stuck on Mikey the whole game?
I mean, San Ysidro's got some other guys that
that's
can
what I'm
hurt
saying.
you. So you got to figure out how you're going to do it.
I'm going to put this on the poll as we say goodbye. You're down to see Wayne McKinney battle Mikey Williams in the D3 finals, mano y mano. No, the rest of the teams, just the two of them at SD Prep Insider on Twitter, on Instagram. We're going to have a special edition of What's Good with Coach Marshawn Cherry from Mission Bay High School here to talk about the Battle at the Bay. Guys, anything else before we swipe right or down? You two can do your little comedy bit again, but anything else before we say it goodbye?
Nah.
Deal.
I think we hit it all.
I don't really feel like it.
And on that note,
We'll see you at Mission Bay.
I was doing the outro. I love you guys. Let's go. What's happening, sports fans? We've got a very special edition of What's Good. Coach Marshawn Cherry is joining us. Now, I got to say, what I thought would be good was you walking in here with some serious hardware on those fingers, because you have one of the more memorable Open Division championships in the last decade. I guess there have only been a decade's worth of Open Division championships. I was waiting for the bling, for the slow moment where you put it out there on the table. Coach, thank you for joining us. You're here to talk about the battle. Is it at the Bay or of the Bay?
At the Bay.
Battle at the Bay. Give us the information while I still have that kind of focused right now, because I have other questions I need to ask. So let's talk about the Battle of the Bay.
Battle of the Bay started about 3 years ago. It was a plan I wanted to do a while ago, thinking about the two best leagues in the city, which Coastal Western. It's kind of like the ACC versus the Big Ten Challenge is what we were going for. The first year was great. We pretty much got all the teams out to compete. Last year, we kind of hit a snag on a couple teams that had already overbooked their schedules, so we had to plug in a few teams for good matchups. Still was solid. But this year, what we want for kind of matchups with storylines behind it. So you have a rematch of CAF championship last year with Torrey versus Foothills, and then Cathedral, who had won D1, taking on Mater Dei, who has come on strong this year with a really great group of players. Bryant's doing a great job down there building this program. And then us taking on Rancho Mardo, kind of a north versus south theme. And then always the Miles Williams narrative of Christian versus Parker, which I think this is the third year now, because he was there, then he's there, then he's back there. So kind of fun. The other games, we have Olympian versus Army-Navy, which is kind of, we have some guys that play club with each other, kind of want to go at each other, so they actually.
Well, and you have an Olympian graduate right here in the room who he's very controlled about it and not very out. Like, he's not
Right.
beating the drum, go La Jolla type thing. But Noah has slowly become an Olympian basketball fan this season.
Well, Coach Marty's doing a really good job down there. He's had his mainstay, which is Gio Martinez, who's played club for us for years. Great kid.
Also, I'd like to just
character.
put this on the poll at SD Prep Insider on all our polls on Twitter and Instagram. I feel like Gio Martinez has been at Olympian for about 15 years.
Yeah, he was a freshman when I was a senior.
We'll put it on the poll at SD Prep Insider. Has Gio Martinez played at Olympian for the better part of this century?
It does seem like it, but no, I think he's only got, this is his fourth year. So, and then with the transfer that we know pretty well, Savon Davis going down there, I think that really bolstered their roster.
No, can you say it? Because you say it so smooth.
Savon Davis.
So you were like whistling. You like there was that
That's
when you
the
were
same
practicing
way
it.
He says it when he says it to the girls. Suave is what he calls himself. So.
Okay, so Coach, it'll be going down this Saturday.
Oh, I almost left out a game. Sorry, I don't want to leave anybody out. Which would be the second game, which I believe is, I'm getting old.
San Diego Country
San
Day.
Diego versus Country Day, which is it'll be a fun game. Aaron, Aaron's San Diego High taking
And
on
Tommy's Country Day. Tommy is
Exactly.
off camera in the production suite right now, using Coach Simons' microphone. We'll hope to get that fixed by the end of the show.
two very
So
good
keep
coaches. I mean, you have Basil Fontenot, two-time defending champion, D3, D4, right? And then you have Ryan Meyer, mainstay, one of the top coaches in the city, does a great job with his program. He's like we are right now, young and rebuilding. So I expect that next year he'll be back right where he belongs.
So it's 6 games. We'll have it all retweeted. You can find the graphic that is awesome with that killer ship in the background and everything is at MB Bucks B-Ball. We'll retweet that at SD Prep Insider. We'll post it on our Instagram, but Mission Bay B-Ball, search that on Twitter. You can follow all the updates on there. 6 games, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. this Saturday. There is an intermission, though, so is this something where people have to get one ticket for both sessions? Give us that kind of information.
Okay, so what it is it's 2 sessions. Our gym is small. It was already small, as you know. When they redid the bleachers, we lost about 200 more seats. So to make sure we have room for the evening session fans to get in, we're going to close down, clean up, restock the snack bar, and then reopen, and it'll be another ticket. So kind of like CF does a day session, evening session, we went along that route so that we can give those other fans a chance to get in the gym.
Okay, you mentioned the gym renovations. Have you seen Kearney's gym in the last
I
6
have
months?
not,
Since
but
okay.
I heard you talking about their.
Okay, because I was curious, are you getting a scoreboard that is uncomfortably disproportionate? Like some of your fans are going to leave the game sunburnt because it's that close to the.
Is it really? I've heard about
yes,
it.
yeah. No, I mean, Kearney is something that I understand that you don't play them a lot necessarily, but it looks killer because it has like the whole 5 players, their stats, like all that info, their blood pressure, like a social
Their
media.
mile time.
Yeah,
Right.
No, but they didn't rework the gym at all. They just kind of put it to this to the left of the hoop, so it's kind of.
Oh, so it's not even in the middle.
No, it's like offset, and it's big, and it's very in your face, and it's like your gym, Kearney's gym, Crawford's gym. There's
All
a couple
these
of those
little small
very
gyms.
like old
Yeah.
school, intimate, cool settings that I think sometimes you don't need to go overbearing on the technology.
Right.
So, is there going to be a cannon or like the front part of a ship, like at Raymond
After
James
every
Stadium?
No, we could not afford those pyrotechnics.
Okay. Will there be any like animatronics like at Disneyland? Any pirates greeting you as you come in?
Jack
Is that
Sparrow?
We'll have a DJ in the evening session. That's about as good as we're gonna get.
Will you allow us to send Noah dressed as a pirate to just say
More than
piratey
welcome.
things
Well,
all
I think
day?
he dressed up like the eagle to support his Eagles, right?
Yeah, go call him the Eagle.
Come out
Is
there
there
with the eagle
is there an
outfit.
actual eagle costume?
There
you-
is.
so there is someone that-
there's gonna be, hopefully
Coach
the Eagle.
Mario suits you
Yeah,
up.
we gotta
Okay,
get the Eagle guy
if
out
we can
there.
use Twitter or Instagram to find the person who is the eagle,
Yeah.
let's talk to you next week. We'll get you
Yeah.
on the show. I would love to meet the person
be
behind
beast.
the eagle. So, Coach, we'll get back to the tournament in just a second. But you were talking with us beforehand that you said you had a craving recently, and you went out for. You specifically said Baskin Robbins, correct?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so. When you're
31 flavors.
when you're
yeah.
going, are you a one scoop in a waffle cone in a cut? Just walk us through the process of when you got that craving. What hits the spot?
It's always the same thing as the banana royale. I always have to have bananas with my ice cream, banana split, banana royale, or
Okay.
that's my thing.
So that all just like, comes in a cup. Do you put any? Are you
Comes
are
in
you
a
a little
cup.
whipped cream, some sprinkles, some
You get whipped
chocolate
cream,
syrup? Like are you
whipped cream, chocolate syrup, strawberries, the almond. Oh no, it's
Classic.
okay?
It's really
So
good.
what I'm
Classic.
saying is,
It's a
so what I'm
classic.
saying is, next time you go,
Mhm.
call me because that sounds delicious.
I'll take your order.
And I can't do it by myself. Like
Right.
I would feel guilty eating that alone. But if I had you with me, I'd be
Right.
like, "Look, we're doing it for Instagram. We'll
There
put
you-
it on. We'll put it on
exactly.
our story, and that'll excuse me eating a whole one of those."
True.
Coach, do you mind if I get a little bit serious
Sure.
with you for a second?
I expected it.
Okay. There's going to be a new CIF commissioner
Okay.
and assistant commissioner coming in next season. What would be something that either on behalf of yourself or maybe if you're willing to speak a little bit larger to the basketball community or the Mission Bay community or whatever community you feel well enough in representing vocally, what would you want that potential commissioner to hear, to take into themselves and really be like, this is an issue that we need to address here in the CIF right away?
I think that first off, we need to make sure it's a basketball person or a person that's sports orientated. They're looking for the best interest of the student. I think in this staff we had with John and Jerry have done a great job. I think in the past we've had some people that were a little different. I don't want to say any names or anything, but I just think that we have to make sure that the kids come first. That they're working towards helping the kids, not should I say disciplining them for something that coaches do or that their parents do. Just take into account that at the end of the day, everything we do is for the kids, and that we want to make sure they have a chance to play and they're not being punished for things that are out of their control.
I mean, it certainly is. There's basketball, there's North County, there's softball. There's a trillion different ways that this new commissioner is going to have to look at it. So I thank you for sharing a little bit of your take on that, guys. Any questions for Coach before we get out of here?
No, looking forward to the event Saturday. We got 3 ranked matchups, all of them good matchups, and I'll be there. I know you'll be there, so looking forward to it.
All right, so Coach, one more time, plug us with the info where people can find all of the the schedules and everything. Give us one more plug on the way out.
Actually, it'll be in the newspaper. I talked to Jerry, Steve Brand. He's going to put it in the paper. I believe it's going to be in there today or tomorrow. I will be on KOSI tonight at 6 p.m.
Oh, my man.
in regards about it also, and then it will also be up on my personal Instagram, which is Mr. Cherry PB at Instagram, I guess.
Yep, deal. Yeah.
Then also on our Twitter page that you said, which was MB Bucks Basketball, as well as our players will be posting it, and I've asked for all the teams that are going to be competing to post it on their social media outlets as well.
Awesome. 6 games this Saturday at Mission Bay High School. It's basically going to be the crazy final exclamation point on the season, because you have like another week and then playoffs.
Yeah, definitely potential shake up some seeds and brackets just a week out. So.
Absolutely.
And that's one of the goals, is to kind of see who really stands strong and who's going to jump and who's going to fall, and it's going to shake some stuff up. I think it'll be fun.
Go check it out. Coach will probably be a little bit busy, so if you can say hi to him, but don't bother him too much during the games.
Maybe give him a banana split. Just give him
there
one.
you go.
Bring me a banana Royale from Baskin Robbins. You can get 5 minutes of my time.
I challenge one of you to try and get your way into the tournament instead of buying a ticket, showing up with a banana Royale. Coach, thank you very much for joining us. That'll do it for our special edition of What's Good.
Thank you for having me.